How do I set this up? Hold on. Hmm. Okay. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Okay. I don't want to set this up. Hold on. I don't know how to set this up. Oh. Okay. So anyway, for anyone that ends up joining, welcome. I'm currently testing some stuff out, so apologies. Hold on. I remember there was a way of getting I can't type. Yeah, so currently trying to make sure that everything works. I have envisioned how this would work, and it is not working how I envisioned. So, hold on. Yeah, I would love some input if anyone does join. Yeah, if anyone does join and they have something to say about like the audio and whatnot, I would appreciate that. Just, you know, preparing, that's it. So the idea behind the live stream that I'll end up doing either tomorrow or the next day has to do with trying to raise money for Game to Give. There might be like some giveaway stuff possibly for PR2. Also, I wanted to give a little bit of an update as to like what I've been up to personally. So, yeah, that's all I really gotta say. So, if you're in the chat, feel free to give me some insight as to how everything is. Right now, I'm testing audio levels. I'm trying to get the chat to pop up because for some reason it's not, even though it should be. And other things. So, yeah, let me know. How do I get this to work again? It's been way too long. How do I... See, like, I remember at one point, the way that this worked for YouTube specifically was there is a link or something that you would put into the chat stuff, and it just is not popping up, and I don't know where that went. Okay. But yeah, feel free to chat, please. Let me know. Let me know, please. See, I'm looking at a bunch of different options for it, and none of them are how I remember it at all. Dude, it's like, oh yeah, get a get a plugin for this. Oh, try this plugin, try this plugin. But I remember vividly not having to do any of that. So I guess maybe I could try adding a new one. And I don't see one. What the heck? Nothing. See, it shows up there. What? Oh, wait. Maybe it is working. Hold on. Something. I can't type. Something. Although it's a little butt ugly, it is still working, so that's good. Ha! Wow. Amazing. Why is my... What? 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 That does not make sense. That does not make sense. Why does that... Oh, wait, it pops up now. Why is it so delayed? I feel like this shouldn't be the way that it is. little bit slimmer. Nope. Nope. Oh, wait. Almost. Almost there. Sorry, I'm trying to be a little bit of a perfectionist here. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I think that's good. I think? Alright, hold on. Do a little hoverboard test. About like a really long chat. Hold on. Did I break it? Did I break it? They posted that one. Hold on. Okay, now I want to check out what JBG sent me. What did JBG send me? Input overlay plugin. Input overlay OBS plugin. How do plugins even work? Input overlay. Use the texture and you can configure which buttons are shown. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay. It's been a while since I used GitHub. How do you download everything from it? Installer. Yeah, where do I have my OBS at? Hold on. Yeah, it's not there. Kind of surprised. There we go. Plugins, 64-bit. Am I dumb? I feel like I might be dumb right now. Dude, how dumb am I right now? Hold on. Dude, am I dumb? Kind of losing my mind over here. I guess maybe I shouldn't have. Well, I mean, I did need to go live for a reason. I needed to see if this would even work. So that's good at least. But now I'm kind of left with a with confusion. On a scale from 1 to 10, how dumb am I? Let's find out. Oh. I feel a little dumb. Let's do this. Input overlay plugin. Why do I need permission? What? I just want to get this plug in. Come on. Come on. Advanced. Okay. Change that. Okay, maybe that works now. Why do I not have permission? Why's my camera delayed? Okay. So that's not delayed anymore. That's good. Why? Maybe. Objects in a container. Okay. Command prompt. There we go. Crazy. Oh. Don't you guys love tech issues? Run as administrator. Hey, what's up, JC? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, I got a question for you. Since you're here, how's the audio? I'm trying to adjust things, so. Why can I not? How am I going? I'm going good. I'm going good. you know, I'm a little frustrated because I'm trying to figure out this tech issue, but otherwise I'm doing good. I got a lot of sleep yesterday, so I'm feeling refreshed, you know? And today, I don't really have to do much, so I figured, like, let's be a little productive. Let's set this up, you know? Because I do want to do a stream either tomorrow or Friday. Music down a bit first, sure, okay. Okay, thank you for that. Let me turn that down. Okay, how are we feeling about that? How are we feeling? A little bit lower or a little bit higher? All right, let me get back to this just to make sure. Did I type this correctly? I wish I knew what any of this meant. 7-zip. Oh crap, did I type that correctly? No, I did not. I can't type. Okay, I think that did something. A little bit lower, but it's much better. All right, that's good. That's good. A little bit lower. All right, how about that? How's that work? Also, how's the presentation of the stream look? Does it look good? Would you recommend me adjusting a few things? What are we thinking? I think that looks good. Let's change the music up a little bit. Hold on. Change it a little bit. The song's a bop. Bum 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 bum. But yeah, so I mean, if you could tell down below, there's a counter that talks about, I mean, it shows like the amount I've raised for something. I've been raising money for Game to Give, much like in the past when I've done live streams like this. Well, not this live stream, but you know, fundraising streams in the past. I've been raising money for this year's Game to Give event, so I figured that it might be a good time to get back into streaming some PR2. It looks fine. The chat background is very funny. Yeah. Got a little tree action, you know? Do you like the background, or would you rather something else? What do you think? I think it works. I think it works. You know, it's not like the highest quality, but it's definitely something, you know? It's definitely something. I could probably find a higher quality picture somewhere else. All right, did that work? That's the real question. Did that work? Yeah, I'm just trying to download a plugin for OBS, so it's a little bit of a hassle because I guess my permissions are all wonky. Don't we love troubleshooting? Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Let me download the thing, please. Let me download the thing. Why do I not have permission to save in this location? Please elaborate. Contact the administrator to obtain permission. I am the administrator. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? You don't have permission to perform this action. Contact administrator. Even though I can't type. No, I am administrator. When you hit undo redo a couple times and see the trees. You know the levels click. Oh yeah, you know it. You know it. It's such a shame that that bug was even a thing. That ruined so many of my levels growing up. So many of my levels. I'm like, I just got done drawing something for like 5 hours. Oh, I made a mistake. Gotta undo. Oh my, you know, beautiful. Try running it, take ownership. I did that. What are we talking about? I'm going to freak out. I'm gonna freak out. I'll lose my mind. PR2 taught me to always maintain back. Oh yeah, I agree. Oh, I was working on a video the other day, and the backup actually screwed me over. I was working on a video for Destiny 2 for my YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel, not this one. And it was like a 50-minute long video. I did all this editing, right? And I go to make a variation of it for one of like a YouTube short, something like that. And thankfully I already exported the file, but the way I have it set up is it saves like a backup, right? And as I changed one of the changed the format of the video and things like that, so that was like a minute long, for whatever I went to go and save the project, and then it froze. So I'm like, oh no, that's not good. So I closed out the application and I started up again, and my whole project, like the main save of it, was the short form and not the one that was 50 minutes long. So I did everything in my power to try to get that back, but it never happened. I couldn't get it back. So it's gone. Like the actual thing is gone. So the backup just ruined me. It ruined me. That's what happened. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Oh, dude, that's gonna take all day. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. You know what? I got an idea. I've gotten an idea. We're gonna do the same exact thing, but we're gonna change it to just program files. So let me do that. Where is this? So I'm gonna completely get rid of that. That did not work. What? Hold on. Let's do. Okay. Yeah, I hope you've been doing good, JC. I hope so. Remind me, you're not. Wait. Oh yeah, never mind. I was about to say you're not JC on PR2, are you? But no, you are. You are. You been working on any new levels? You always cook with your levels, let me say. I do like your levels. Oh, this might actually take a while. Yeah, that was gonna take a while. Okay. I guess I can chat while I wait. All in the name of making sure that this works. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Guess I should play some PR2 while I wait. Yeah. Yo, JC, have you seen this level before? I mean, well, obviously you've seen it before. I think you played it. But, a little insider to how I made the level. It's been over a year since I made this. Look at that drawing. I'm actually really proud of this drawing right here. This drawing took me quite a while to make. Like, look at all the different shades of colors. I haven't done much level making recently. Don't have too many ideas of them. That's fair. I get that. Oh yeah, look at that. I forgot how many color combinations I used here, but I remember thinking like there's two thrusters, one on the right, one on the left. That's why there's a little bit of blue right here. In here. Find Poppy 3. Hey, I mean at some point. When Poppy needs to be found, I guess. But yeah, this one drawing solidified what I wanted to do with the level for Fred. So it's the space aliens, because I feel like the lore of the space aliens in PR2 hasn't really been elaborated on. So I figured, you know, I would take that sort of design that the aliens had in PR3 and put it here. And I was thinking, what sort of colors would I use? So that's why you see kind of like greens and blues, because the thrusters have that sort of blue hue to it. So I shaded it so that it would kind of fit appropriately. But the real color of it is this. It's like sort of tan, teal, not teal, like just a tan-like color. The outer ridges of the UFO kind of being like a darker hue of it. And then I thought it'd be cool if, like, as the blasters went away, it kind of emitted like a green smoke. So that's why it does that. That's why it's. But yeah, I'm really proud of this drawing specifically, and it's only for like a little bit of a set piece, because when you're playing through the level, you know, you're going through these caves, right? Going through these caves, and you know, you're like do, right? And I wanted it to be a set piece, like, oh, they're trying to look for me. Right, so you jump out and it's like, oh no, you know, like that's bad. So obviously you're trying to escape that UFO, because I mean, look at that face. Look at that. It's like they're pissed. they're mad. They're mad. What else? Did a little bit of like snow falling off. That's a detail that I'm sure not a lot of people look at, but. I don't know, I put a lot of thought into this level. I mean, maybe I got a little bit lazy from time to time with it, but I think the idea was there. This is Festive Escape by Fred the G Cactus. Actually. But yeah, I'm kind of giving a little bit of insight to the level. Yeah, so like right here, I used Art 00 because I wanted it to kind of pop up as you fall, to kind of be like, oh, they're actively looking for you as you drop down this little hill. I thought that was a really cool touch. And then additionally, actually look at the colors here. So it's like a lighter green hue, then a darker one, then a darker one. And I wanted like the under part of this to kind of share this color as well. And then the portal kind of, the inspiration for it was kind of like Rick and Morty. A little bit. But yeah, the aliens got portals, bro. They got portals. It's kind of limited, but yeah, here's another drawing I made. There's a little bit of a close-up of the UFO in the background. And the reason I use like a size 1 brush here is because he was going fast. You know, he's going really fast. Like, you see the blue and the purple, or pinkish purple, magenta, I guess. It's supposed to be like zooming the moment you get over there. So, you know, that's the idea behind it. Here's the actual thruster is being used. That was cool. But yeah, as you're playing, you know, you're like jumping up here, you know, and then you jump up. Whoa! Right? As you get back up here. I think this mountain area is probably the laziest part of the level. It's a little alien poking through at the very start of Hack Factory reference. Yes, all of this level is. I wanted to make use of the aliens from Hat Factory, because they're like, when you think of platform racing 2, like Fred the Giant Cactus, where'd he come from? You know, you think about the lore, like where did he come from? Why is he here, right? But one of the least used characters that Jigman has put into platform racing 2, in my opinion, is the aliens and the alien eggs. Because in this game, they're kind of like there for the Hat Factory, and then in Platform Racing 3, they're an enemy that shoots down at you. So I figured, why are they hostile? You know, why are they hostile? So that's kind of the thought process I had when making this level. Like, why would they be hostile? And the reason for that is when I released this level on Fred's account, the artifact was right here. So you took something valuable from the aliens that they didn't realize was there. So they're like, oh, we gotta go get them. We gotta go get them. Also, this part is pretty cool too. Like, as you're making your way up here and then you jump here, you notice the alien. It's kind of like alluding to the fact that the aliens are coming for you, right? So this is like an Art2 artwork. Just this, you know, little bit of a drawing right there, and I made sure that the outer skirts of it wouldn't pop out if you moved far enough with the camera, because I mean, that's the best element of I mean, that's how you make levels. You try to hide certain things. You hide the magic, you know. But another part that I think is really cool, I'm gonna showcase this. Big boy alien. I thought that was cool. But this was actually a massive pain to do. Any sort of shading in this game, any sort of shading, is so painful, because you have to think about it like this. We don't have the luxury of tools from Platform Racing 3. In fact, we didn't even have a color picker at one point, but we don't have the luxury of that. So when you want to make something that, oh, did not mean to do that. When you want the luxury of, like, say, lighting, like getting closer to a light, you have to manually do that. So the way I did that here, I had like a dark green, and then I would like cut up this section. Then I do a lighter green right here, and then an even lighter green right here. And I wanted bars and things to be in the background, kind of like support beams, something like that, and little like ropes going through. And to kind of showcase that, to showcase like how the lighting of the room is getting brighter, I had the beams also change colors to showcase that the room is getting brighter. So you can also see the aliens too. Like, these are two completely different colors. And I wanted to showcase that this was hand drawn, right? So I want to showcase these are two different colors. So this is like a darker, that same darker color for the beams, and then a lighter green right here. And I wanted these two eyes to stay the same because it's its own light source. So it's kind of like that. And all these aliens have like little personalities of their own. This one's pissed. This one's like cautious. This one's scared. This one's like, wee! I don't even remember drawing that. This one's just surprised, you know? But I thought the coolest part of this whole section is this. So I made a portal, right? And I thought to myself, what if you could walk through this portal drawing? And that's exactly what I did. So I set it up to where that drawing blocked these teleport blocks right here, right? Also, this is all artwork one. You just you like how they look like silhouettes that blended into the ropes with the green eyes. That's exactly the thought process I had when making this level. Like, I wanted them to blend in with it. I really wanted them to blend in. And also it made my life easier because compare the quality of the drawing of these to something like this, where there's multicolors going on, right? I think there's one later on in the level. Can't recall. But yeah, it requires less effort to make something like that, typically. It's kind of the thought process behind it. Yeah, I love how it looks, though. You're right. But this is one of the coolest parts. So, like, you have this portal drawing that I made, right? And, you know, the alien's pissed off, like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, oh, no, it's vicious. But if you dare to go through the teleport block, right? If you dare to go through that, I put a little section, a little Easter egg that gives you a time block, so it rewards you for doing this. Where it shows that he's actually using the bathroom. I thought it was a little crude, whatever, but I think it'd be kind of, I kind of wanted to play on what you expected. So it looks like someone's like out to get you, right? But you go through the portal and they're just like pissed off that you're interrupting what they're doing. You know, that was the sort of thought process behind it. So, in theory, like when you play through the game, through this level, just having you pop in through the portals like that is really cool. It's a Rick and Morty portal if you've ever seen one. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was definitely inspiration for sure, for sure. But I was also thinking of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger a little bit, kind of like with the relics that you get in that game. But yeah, then you have the toilet design right here. Also, more of the beams from earlier in the level, right there. But I think, yeah, this shading, this was okay compared to the shading I did right here. So you break through these crumble blocks, and it highlights the section that's changing colors. Now, the reason why this was so difficult is that same issue I brought up before with making gradients, things like that, where or like something's getting lighter. Right here, the color of the light changes. So I wanted to reflect that in the background. So if you look at the background, it turns from this, yeah, the talismans in Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Did I say something else? Did I say something else? I don't know. But yeah, the talismans. Exactly. I mean, if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of reflect that sort of gradient that you would see with the light. So if you look at the actual electric thing, it's like a bright blue right there, you know? And I wanted that to reflect the room itself. So there's a lot of electricity going on. In fact, a little bit of a thing, if you pay attention, this is like a Tesla coil or something like that. It's electrifying the safety net blocks. I thought that effect was cool. But notice these little strings that kind of pop out, right? I wanted them to attach to the blocks. But there's a little bit of an energy source. If you notice, like how this little strand has a little bit of a teal effect as well. It leads up to this alien, and notice how it's like electrified. I didn't know if like this was providing electricity to this, or this is providing electricity to this. I couldn't tell, but I wanted something to do like that. I mean, even its eyes got bright. So, but yeah, the gradient effect took a lot of time here. A lot of time, because think about it, like you're physically going like this with this color, and then you're trying to make sure that, let's say, this color also is doing the same thing, but then you're also trying not to touch like right here, or like go further than like right here, because you want it to still look like a support beam. You know, you don't want to mess it up. So doing that like that is kind of rough. It's pretty rough to do that. And I apply that same logic to every other beam that may show up. Not just there, but in the other rooms. And like magic tricks, you know, you gotta keep the magic. You know, you gotta keep it a secret, so gotta keep it consistent. I made this so it's kind of like you're jumping on its head. And then this part actually took a long time, surprisingly. So as you make it through this, you see like the nest of aliens. Like, look at all these aliens, right? So for this, I set it to background or art 2. And each one of these aliens, I single-handedly like drew each one. Even the ones that you can't even see out over here. Like, you have to be pretty far away to even see them. Notice that. To be pretty far away. And right here, I didn't bother drawing anymore because you're not really going to see it from there. Kind of cuts off. But this took quite a while to make, too. But yeah, it's kind of like this hole in the wall that's kind of showcasing the art 2 artwork. And then more of that shading right here. And then it leads to the end right here. I made the finished block a little alien. Really cool, like a prison. Yeah, exactly. You know, like a little prison block, or a maybe like a little home. Maybe their home is a prison block. You know, things to really ponder on. But yeah, to kind of showcase what this looks like, might as well do a test to see what it looks like all the way through. Let me know how the stream quality is while I do this. And alien in the background as you're falling. Woo! Oops, gone the wrong way. Do a little splash effect of snow right there because you launch yourself upward instead. Alien running away. If I could jump, that is. Yeah, this is probably the most creative level I've made in years. Like, it took me quite a while to make this. And I wanted to make it for a really cool Christmas event, you know? Like, it didn't have to be... I didn't have to go this hard, you know? But, I don't know. A lot of people were down to do a bunch of contests and stuff that year, so I figured might as well. Yep, so you go through the portal, right? See what I mean? Like, that part is so cool. You know, you hit this and then go back. I think it's pretty cool. Like, gameplay wise, you know, the level isn't too crazy, you know, it's not like a super unique level gameplay wise, but I thought, you know, the sort of world building behind it with all the drawings and whatnot would be really cool. But yeah, that's one of my levels. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Why is my camera being delayed? I don't get it. There's like a very, very, very obvious like delay. It's weird. You really like it? That's good. But yeah, if you search up Fred the Cactus. Was it difficult? A lot of people seem to think so. So probably. I mean, the level itself is timed, right? So that's probably why the rating isn't amazing. but I wanted it to be an actual challenge because you start out the level with about a minute and you have to get all these time blocks. But when you grab the arty, obviously the timer goes to 30 seconds. So it's a race against the clock the entire way through. Yeah, that little hole right here. This is where the artifact was, right here. Also, I thought this part was really cool. If you look at the shading, so notice how it's kind of like a darker hue over here as opposed to like the middle. So this hole in the wall is kind of like ice, but notice how it gets brighter in the middle right here. This bright light leads to an opening in the cave. Hey, what's up, Overbeing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I was just kind of, I was going over a little bit of level design philosophy with one of my levels. Oh no, which one was it? Was it this? Yeah, it was. But yeah, I was talking to JC about some of the artwork philosophy in Festive Escape. You remember that level? I don't know if you remember it. If you remember it, I can't talk. Yeah, it's kind of going over like a little bit of the drawings that I did, like this out in the background. I always thought this drawing was really, really cool. Just kind of zooming in on it. Like, I'm not a master artist, right? So when I do make something like this, I'm pretty proud of it. You know what I mean? It took quite a while to make. But, you know, I'm kind of talking to someone who's really good with making levels generally, so... I don't know. I'm not sure. Newbie Space, actually. I don't know. Have you played this level before, JC? I'm not sure if you have. The shading of the text right here took so long. It looks like good art to you. Hey, I'm happy you think that. I'm happy you think that. By the way, what's up? Oh man, Fluky. What's up, Fluky? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm kind of going over some art design in some of the levels I made in Platform Racing 2 from quite a while ago. That recent level I showed off, that level, when did I make that level? Like a year ago? Year or two? I remember being so proud of this drawing right here. Like a comet. Because you gotta realize in this game, Overbeing knows what I'm talking about. In this game, there's no opacity or gradient tools. It's literally like this, and then you choose the next color. So like this, you know, you try to trace it as best as you can, and then like this, you know, so you painstakingly do this over and over and over and over until it looks like something is gradually getting darker, you know? Something like that. So, whereas with tools like GIMP or Adobe Photoshop, you can just make a straight gradient from this color to this color. In this game, you gotta just single-handedly do the whole process. I mean, at least that's how I go about it. It's rough. It's really rough. It's very, very rough. So, when you see artwork like this, it's in my opinion, it's always really impressive. Like, not even just on my end, but like anyone's end. If they make artwork like this, it's really impressive. Shading from purple to yellow is hard. Yeah, so right here, I believe, like I started with white right here. Actually, I think I did it backwards. No, I started from here. So like I would draw a little bit of white, and then I would go to this color brush, kind of like do the edges. Wait, no, I did start from over here. I did, yeah, so I went backwards. So I had like the white as the base for this, and then I would trace it with like a little bit of it with like say the darkest color right here. Right here. And then I would take this color and I'll draw over it, and then I would do a mixture of either like this color going that way. So notice how like this purple kind of goes this like over here. Or maybe this color would go that way. So like the purple right here is kind of going over here. And you can kind of see that all throughout. So like this color right here extends out here, but this color also extends out here and vice versa. So that way it kind of comes off with this effect that it's not only changing in color, but it's kind of like fiery, you know, like a fiery effect. And I wanted white to be on the outer end, so I made a little bit of space for the white color right there. Yeah, it's rough. The one pixel brush is hell to deal with due to the AA/blur. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Oh yeah, I do. Yes, yes, yes. Durgashnub made some cool how to draw levels back in the day. The name rings a bell, the level does not. Or like the levels that you're talking about. I don't recall. I do not recall. Actually, maybe I do know what you're talking about. I'd have to take a look. But yeah, things like that. Anything that had to do with gradients in this game and using like what is the artwork look pixel? Dude, I hate the pixelation bug. I hate it so much. Yeah, it's kind of booty. Any sort of gradient that you try to do in this game is rough. Oh yeah, I did another one of the drawings right here as well. I think the other one turned out a little bit better, but I still think this looks really cool. What else? Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, this was this is newer. I think I went back and redid this because at some point I didn't have the text here. I added in like a it's so ugly looking. I did I did this. I did this. And I made it red like that. You know, so it was like right here, something like that. It looks so bad. So I went back and changed that when I adjusted this level. Because before, this used to be open right here. These three blocks. And then you just go this way and bump this block. But since the teleport block was added, and the invincibility block I hadn't really used, I figured I'd make a section where you learn about teleport blocks. Yeah, that's how you make levels. Oh, is it? Is it? Oh man, I love making levels in this game. So good. But yeah, bump for invincibility. So you hit this for maybe like a new item. Because this used to be an exclusive area. So you'd use the jetpack item. Kind of like the original Newbie Land, there's a bunch of things you could do shortcut-wise if you have a specific item. So like right here, you'd hit this, maybe get a jetpack, and then you'd use that jetpack right here or something to make your way up here to this section. But I changed it because I wanted this section to be important. I wanted it to actually have some vital information. I had nowhere else to put it in the level. So I reworked this, you bump into that block, and then you get teleported here. That's why the arrow's right there. So you just keep going this way, and then you bump your way up there. But if you have a teleport item, you could still do the shortcut right here, which a lot of people opt to do, because I'm trying to go fast. Yeah, I'm still really proud of this level. And to answer your question before, JC, quote, was this in one of the earlier campaigns? It was a runner-up for the space campaign. is run up for the space campaign. Ultimately, what level was chosen? I can't think of the name of the level right now. But it's a good level though. It's a good level. You know, part of me always wished that this was chosen, but you know, what can you do? What level was it? First Frontier. This level. This was chosen instead. I do like the artwork in it. So, yeah, I don't recall what other level was a runner-up at the time, but my level was definitely a runner-up there. I believe I had one other level that was a runner-up, which I'll showcase here after I play this level. The text tool doesn't look right, but is often worth it, especially in Quiz Time 3. Oh yeah, Quiz Time 3. It's a classic. Let me tell you. So much text. Yeah, I will say, yeah, in that case, it's a lifesaver because hand drawing text in this game is awful. I'm not a fan of writing text. By the way, Fluky, if you're still here, what's your username on PR2? I don't know if we played together before. Just a little curious. But yeah, I thought the ending section was cool with the rocket. If I recall correctly, Mid-Space was the runner-up for where Space Flight is for Makey. So Makey's level is this. I believe the criteria for this level, a JC. Oh, okay. What's up, a JC? Hopefully I'm saying that right, but I do recognize your name. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the theme for this level for the campaign was low gravity. That was the idea behind it, because Jigman really wanted a low gravity level in the game. I do think this level is pretty fun though. Like, I love the artwork in it and everything like that. Actually, I nailed it. Hey, that's good. That's good. Happy to hear that. Yeah, I've been pretty bad with names in the past, so. I remember one time I said someone's name so badly, they reconsidered my friendship with them. But, you know, what can you do? I mean, we're still friends, but like at that point, they're like, really? Really? You know me how long? Ooh, look at that skill. Look at that skill. I'm not used to playing PR2 with such a big, like, usually I play PR2 with like the normal, dimensions. So kind of like this, right? Where is this at? Gonna mess this up. Oh, no. This is why I shouldn't mess with things that are already good. Yeah, I'm used to it being kind of smaller. There's probably a better way of going about that. Oh, well. How's that look? Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. But yeah, to kind of show you this level. Where is this? It's base. This level was the one that that was runner-up for the campaign. So just like Newbie Space, I added in another comet design right here. So this one started with a white and then ended with a dark blue. And I wanted it to have like a teal sort of color. Which I ended up actually doing a an Easter egg of sorts. With a different level, which I'll show later. But I thought this always looked really cool. So yeah, same sort of idea. Took like a right like that, all white. And I worked my way backwards and used number 1 brush size to kind of mesh the colors together. I always thought that was really cool. But yeah, then I added these electricity things, you know. I did I added a little Fred right here. You know, I'm not sure if anyone's ever seen that when they play this level, but yeah. And I wanted the kind of like the walls of this space station to kind of break open and showcase this little area with space. Maybe like an invasion happened or something. Eventually I added some Art Zero and made it so this up arrow had like a teal color to it. Because I wanted to showcase that that's where you gotta go. So you go up, you hit this, go up here, add a little smiley face because we can. And then I wanted this to be kind of like a tube. So this took a little bit to set up as well with Art 1. Or brush 1 size. Yeah, so a little pipe action. So the idea behind this is you'd go up, and then you would, well, actually, you'd first jump on the I wanted to really play around with the idea of space. So I was like, when I was making this tube area and you drop down, I was like, okay, how could I make use of like space, right? So I wanted like the gravity to just like, right? But I also wanted to make use of like how gravity, you could maybe like rotate yourself because of the low gravity. So I wanted to make use of these same platforms. So you'd make your way through here, just right? And then you'd have to jump on it like this instead. I thought that was really cool. Just take the same platforms but utilize them differently. I think it's a really cool idea for level design, things like that, things of that nature. And then eventually you would use this same area, but instead of going this way, you would go that way. I just really wanted to play around with that idea. Because when I think of low gravity, I think of also like rotating. So, you know, eventually you'd hit this, and then you're back to going that way, you know. And then I thought this would be kind of like an orbital cannon that would shoot you out of the space station for expeditions or whatever. So eventually I made that cannon, you know, go that way. And then you're in uncharted territory, you know, uncharted territory, a little meteor crate, and then a finish, you know. I always thought this level was sick. I always thought it was really, really cool aesthetically, also gameplay wise, but I do think that Makey's level from maybe like a gameplay design was pretty cool. But he did, I believe Makey did say at one point that he actually preferred my level. So, reusing areas with rotates is really cool and also very difficult to figure out. Oh, I agree. 100%. And you also have to think about like how balanced it is. Is it, are you asking too much of the person when you do rotate sections? Like, is it more difficult? Is it even possible? Do you need like certain stats to make it work? It's always a little iffy. On top of that, it's a low gravity level. Notice how it's a 0.5 rather than a 1. So like when you gotta, did you rotate your head a lot making this? I did actually. I did. So notice how the jump is a little bit floatier, a little bit higher. I also thought the music was pretty fitting with the low gravity sort of. Like, yeah, you don't really need the up arrows here. You really don't. But it's there in case your jump is incredibly low. You know? And I also want to showcase that too. This section I always thought was really, really coolly made. Clean minimap, thank you. Great level overbeing, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, so I really wanted to make use, because one thing I feel like a lot of levels neglect to do with up arrows is actually using the momentum from the side of it after hanging on it like this. So I try to utilize it when I can. And the up arrows communicate. Yeah, exactly. So you'd go like that, and then you'd use it again. I use it like that. So I go up the pipe. You know, if this level came out, like say years ago, I probably would have made this like Art 0. But remaking it in Art 0 would take forever, so yeah, so pop out there and then right there. Out of the pipe. So then this was the section I was thinking of, like, okay, so I want to make use of this area twice. So first, a little bit of challenge with how it kind of pushes you away, but then you make your way here, rotate. Oh no, I can't go that way, so you gotta go this way. Do a little falling action, and then, oh look, you're back here. How do you get up? Oh, up arrows right here. Tells you to go up. So you go up. Oh yeah, I did a little gradient work right here because I figured this section would be a little bit darker. Bump that head right there. And then I figured it's time to rotate this way and drop down that way. And also, I wanted this level to play really well if you're going fast. So that's why it's designed the way it is. I didn't want it to be too overly difficult. Then you get the finish. I gotta say, I made a version of this level on Platform Racing 3, but unfortunately the servers went down. And I think the level actually looked amazing on Platform Racing 3. I wouldn't say gameplay-wise it worked as well, but it looked really good. Really, really good. It has good flow. That's what I really want out of my levels. I just want it to flow really well, for the most part. Vector 2.0, on my actual account, is probably the level that... I don't know if I'd say it took me the longest, but it was very, very tedious to make. So I wanted I wanted this to be pretty much the most accurate I can make it. So if you take a look at how this level is set up, there's a lot of there's a lot of blocks in this level. If you really take a look, I wanted it to, right? You have this level favorited? Oh, do you? That's actually awesome to hear. Wow. I'm really surprised to hear that. Okay. Well, now you're gonna learn a little bit about this level. How about that? So, I thought the main priority here was the gameplay, right? So I was trying to think. I wanted a level. This was my very first thought. I wanted a level that ended where you started. I'm like, how could I do that? So my first thought is, okay, let's just make the level, you know, go this way and just see where it goes. So I was also thinking I want shortcuts. I wanted this level to be way bigger than the first vector. So I was first thinking like, okay, I want the level to kind of go to the right, kind of like a normal level, but then eventually I wanted to change the gravity of things. So that's why I have rotate blocks right here. I'm like, okay, what could I do with that? So I was thinking, okay, maybe just like in mid-space, how about you utilize the same area but use it differently, right? So instead of, you know, you loop around this way, drop out here, but then instead of going back over here, you would make your way over here instead. So I thought that was really cool. But from there, I'm like, okay, what could I do? And I was thinking about the open space of the first level. The first level, it had a little bit of, it had a few sections where it was very open. That's something I tend to not do in my levels, is have open spaces. So I was like, okay, let me play around with that a bit. And I'm like, okay, what if this is kind of like Hat Factory a bit? So this whole section, it kind of reminds me of Hat Factory a bit, where it's very open. It's very, very open. But it's short-lived. Also, this section right here was for the artifact at one point. I changed it up, but yeah, just ignore this. Ignore this. So I was thinking right at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little bored of that. I'm sure other people would too. How about your main priority here is to hit the rotate block. So you rotate, and now you're going this way, right? And now I'm thinking, okay, so I wanted to finish the level where you started. So maybe you just do a whole loop-de-loop, right? You start on one dimension and then you change until it's basically like a box. I thought the level would look really cool if you did that too. So right here, I wanted to utilize the same gameplay idea that the first level had. And eventually you rotate, and then it's like, nope, not doing that. And then I have this big structure that eventually built up to the end, kind of like that. And meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, shortcuts. What can I do with shortcuts? So made a little opening right here with crumble blocks, but you can't see it because of the artwork right here, right here. Also, I wanted to signify when a change would be made with the artwork, so that's why you see like gray versus orange or green versus orange, things like that. It's a great level. I'm a big fan of this level. And also I decided to add a bunch of random black and whatever neon colors in the background. I wanted points where they would like kind of intersect a bit. It's like right here, you're walking this way, right? Going right. I wanted this big random pillar of neon to just kind of hit you while you're going this way, and then as you jump, this would move too. So I really wanted to play around with the lines. You know, I wanted to play around with that idea. Vector looks great. You feel your pain. Layer 0 is rough, dark, and color blocked hurt you to make. That is probably what made this level take so long to create. So the process I would have, because with Art 0, whatever you draw, like, let's give a little example. Like, let's take this singular block right here. Like, maybe not that. For the entire level, there is the color black. So just assume this is black, right? I would have to draw over this block, right? You know, maybe fill it in, whatever. But then I'm like, I can't even see the block anymore. So then I would have to maybe say, maybe draw a little bit over it like this. And then take a look at the grid and then erase the left, like the rest of it, right? Kind of like this. And even then, sometimes it was a little inaccurate, right? So then you're left thinking like, oh, did I get it? No? Okay, time to go back and maybe this. Maybe something like that. It's a very, very painful way of doing it. But once I would cover that up, this is a really bad representation of what I was trying to do, by the way. But once I would cover that up, actually it doesn't help that I have an uneven color, right? Yeah, this looks better. So once I would do that, I would make like maybe like a size 4 brush, maybe like size 1, maybe even 2. And I would take a neon color or something like that and then draw like this around the edges. In the first level, I did it the other way. So I actually used Art 0 for it in that level. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. And then I would take a bigger brush and just make sure that I lined it up correctly and just delete whatever is extended, like this. Right? And then right there, you have a vector block. Woohoo, right? Now the issue is, you do that with every part of the level. You do that same exact process for all of these blocks. All of these blocks, and then you got to think about like, okay, what were the shortcuts? Okay, I got to make this line, you know, this color instead of this color, and things like that. And I did that for the whole entire level. So like the little bit of gray right here that show you that's an up arrow, because that's my biggest issue with levels that use Art 0, they don't indicate when a block changes. Like, let's say you have an item block, like right here, right? And I do like a random color, like maybe like, like the neon color I had before. Like I have this highlighted all the way through, whatever. But then let's say later on in the level, you see that same exact color. Or sorry, you see a block, but maybe it's like a yellow color instead. What is telling you in this instance that this is an item block, but this isn't? Like there's nothing really to tell you that these two are the same. So that's why I color grade it. Like right here, you see the color is much different than this color, right? So you're thinking, okay, that's a little odd, right? Why is that the case? And then you use a top out, you're like, oh, you actually go through it. And then maybe like same thing here. You're like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why that's there. And then you realize, oh wait, that's a shortcut. You use a Santa hat and you just make your way through there. Right here, I wanted it to be secretive. Like that, the only exception to that is if I wanted to be, secretive. But right here, I made safety nets red. So it's like a big no-no. Like you do not want to make your way there. I made these blocks arrow blocks, right? Like if I kept the color the same right here, you would have no idea where to actually hug the wall, right? You'd have no idea. So I use that same mentality throughout the entire level. Like, okay, this color is gonna be for rotates. Red is for safety nets. The only thing I didn't really do that for is, well, I guess I kind of did that for water blocks or vanish blocks, but it was a very tedious, very, very tedious process. You always try to add extra blocks around as reference for the grid. Not a bad idea. Honestly, not a bad idea, but that's the way I went about it, and it was awful. So it was straight awful, horrible. Especially like this section. This section was so painful to do. Because look at how many different turns the lines would have. Like imagine, like erasing whatever is extended here or whatever, and you're also trying to make sure to not erase into one of these lines also. So like say you got a drawing going this way and this way. You're trying not to erase into this line. It's painful. It is actually painful to do. But yeah, that's how I made Vector 2.0 pretty much. It was a very fun level to make. And then I also made a little bit of an Easter egg. I don't know if you guys have actually paid attention to this before, but if you play the level and you played mid-space, if you go a little bit to the left instead, you see that blue comet from the other level, from mid-space. You see that, you see the level structure right here. I always thought this was really cool. I don't know why I called it a Ascendinator, but I did. There's the little electric platforms. Oh, that was a cool little Easter egg. Yeah, that's the ending, finish block right there with the safety nets. I put a lot of thought into this. Way too much thought. Okay, is this prompt done? It is. Okay. All right, we're gonna listen to some music. All right, so we're gonna listen to that while I try to get this plugin. Hopefully that was insightful, All right, let's go. Excuse me. Alright, hopefully I can make this work. I'm telling you, I'm just trying to make this plugin work. That's it. Alright, hold on. Hey! Did you guys hear that? Wait, do you guys hear that when I... Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, you do hear it, okay. You guys hear that? I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Access is denied. Oh, that's the only thing that I don't have access to. Okay, cool. All right, so will this work now? Let's see if it does. I'm very eager to have this work. For context, for those that haven't joined yet, I've been trying to get a plugin for the stream. PR2 music is so nostalgic, yet the PR2 title theme is your Animal Crossing town tune. Wait, you can do that? How does that work? I have Animal Crossing New Horizon, and I played it a little bit, but I haven't played it too much. But I didn't realize you could do that. That's cool. How do you do that? Oh, it actually worked. Thank the heavens. It actually worked. Wow. Wow. Oh, maybe that's not the one I wanted. Or maybe it is. I don't actually know. I'm not quite sure. Oh well, we downloaded it. We'll see if it works. You know? We'll see what happens. I do agree though, the music in this game is so nostalgic. Where's this folder? Oh, extract this. All right. How do I restart or apply plugin changes? Ah, I may need to end the stream for just a little bit, just to see if this works. Hold on. Is there a way to change the theme of your OBS? I think that'd be pretty cool if I could. Yeah, guys, I think I'll be right back just to change this. So I'll be right back.